Welcome back, boys and girls. Robocop Rogue City is just your average action film, mindless gunfire and explosions with very little logic to the event that happens on the screen. In order for me to explain to you why I believe this is so bad, we must go over the story. So, spoiler alert in case this wasn't obvious enough. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you have been warned. Here we go. The story starts with the TV station raid where we are chasing a guy named Suit and his goons. Suit escapes via a helicopter, which is arranged by the police for some reason, and during this, Robocop experiences his first glitches. Is this because of an explosion that just happened, or a made-up prison that the writers forgot to write about? We never find out. Anyway, after that, OCP, who made Robocop, installs a special observation chip in Robocop. You'll want to remember that for later because it becomes stupidly important. Next up, we rescue a drug dealer who is being attacked by rivals he's undercutting. In return, he gives us Suit's location. That leads us to the arcade. After a full-on shootout there, we also get information about a place called the Ghost House. Cue another shootout. There we meet a police informant named Pickles, yes really, who used to work with an officer who is currently missing named Briggs. After some light threatening, Pickles tells us that Suit is having a concert tonight and is meeting a new crime lord in the town. Before heading there, you can also help Pickles return something that he stole from Briggs to his family, unlocking a surprisingly decent side quest chain if you're interested in that. Back to the concert, it's in the underground floor of an old slaughterhouse. We could end the story right here, but of course, Robocop gets run over by a truck we can hear coming from a mile away, there's a huge shootout, and our partner splits off from us, saying, "Don't worry, we'll stay in contact." Spoilers, we won't. We capture Suit, and we get to listen to the same song that we will be hearing all throughout the playthrough at every point that we can. You will go crazy from this song. Then, radio silence. The new guy contacts us and offers a prisoner exchange, our partner for Suit. And when we get close to the new guy, Robocop just glitches out and becomes completely paralyzed, allowing the bad guy to shoot our partner, shoot Suit, and just casually walk away. We go back to the station for repairs and our partner goes to the hospital. Now, OCP's Max Baker, who has been monitoring us, decides that Robocop is an actual liability and assign him to do some busy work around the precinct to do less harm. While doing that, Robocop investigates Officer Briggs' disappearance and he finds a lead. He disobeys orders and follows the trail. In the very first cutscene, he meets the biker gang leader Spike, but he does nothing. Also, they don't attack Robocop but actually lead him to their place. It's very weird. Eventually we find Briggs' car and then his corpse and a bunch of other bodies for no explained reason. Later on we will learn that it might be connected to something that is an OCP project, but it's a total mess, it's not very clear. We corner the gang in a warehouse and arrest Spike, the gang leader, only for the new guy to corrupt an ED-209 unit, which is a big bipedal robot that has a lot of guns on it, and he sends it to kill us. Now, a real cop gets in the way, forcing us to abandon Spike, resulting in, of course, the officer's death and Spike escaping. It is a forced choice purely to pad out the story with another chase. The best case scenario would just be for the cop to hold Spike and Robocop would actually fight the corrupted ED-209 unit as you should. But that doesn't happen, so after we destroy the ED-209 unit, we visit our partner in the hospital, and while we are there, we also learn that corpses are being stolen from the hospital, but only corpses without any brain trauma. It is a big neon sign that says cyborg stuff happening here. Back at the station, we get briefed about a bank heist. We assist SWAT, and we also discover that OCP is running low on funds thanks to some secret project the CEO is funding. Robocop stumbles into a random hole in the wall that leads him to another biker shootout. We radio Spike, who now says that they stopped working with the new guy because he just doesn't pay them. We stop the heist, go back to the station, everybody claps. Woohoo, Robocop is so amazing! Then our Sergeant Reed sends us to follow on the biker's trail and talk to the OCP CEO. On our way to the car, Max Baker gives us an urgent domestic terrorism tip, but surprise, it's actually the address of a reporter who investigates OCP's shady business. Very subtle, Max, very subtle. When we meet the CEO, he is weirdly kind to us and asks us about life, death, and feelings, this will somehow be used later on to justify some actions, so please remember that. Tracking the bikers leads us to a tattoo shop where Spike recently got inked. We trace his license plate and find him being livestream tortured. We rescue him and then trace the stream back to an abandoned mall. Inside the mall, the new guy is on the phone with his OCP contact, asking for a meeting. The OCP guy says nope, and then we start shooting. We start a fight that could have been avoided and was the worst choice for all the parties involved. For Robocop, because he could have just learned more information by staying quiet. For the gang, because they wouldn't have died from us. And for the new guy, because he could have just killed Robocop. Right before we can arrest the new guy, Robocop glitches again, but this time he overcomes the glitches with the power of friendship or something that's equally as dumb. And we arrest the new guy, who reveals to be working with someone from OCP. They try to explain this whole situation by saying that he wasn't using the lighter. The lighter is the control switch to control Robocop, but it falls out of his pocket 20 seconds later, and beside that, in many other scenes, he controls Robocop without actively using the lighter in his hand. After the arrest, Max invites us to a totally not suspicious empty warehouse and, shocker, he sends waves of robot at us. When we finally corner him, he says, "I'm not the rat. Why would you believe a criminal?" He means the new guy. And Robocop believes him. Even after finishing the game, I'm not totally sure if Max or the CEO is the traitor. They both kind of admitted it, sort of. We then go back to jail and ask the new guy more questions. Why we waited this long is anyone's guess, I have no idea. But oh no, there's a riot, so Robocop helps by murdering half the jail's population. During this whole situation, mercenaries are breaking out the new guy from the jail. Robocop collapses again, I think it's the third time, and the bad guy says he sent people to the hospital to take care of our partner. But yeah, they took care of everyone, doctors and nurses, except our partner. The hospital was full of patients, and now it's just empty of patients. Either way, congratulations to whoever cured illness off screen. We do a mission debrief at the station, and turns out the precinct psychiatrist didn't show up due to fear. So we go to her house, only to get attacked by mercenaries, so we rescue her and leave her with our partner. Then, of course, we get a sewer level, because every game must have one. There we actually find out that the CEO gave the new guy the access to the OCP systems. But wait, Max is the CEO now? Or will he? Or was he? Or something? It's not very clear. From the sewers we rush to the OCP headquarters building, and we find out that the CEO is actually dead, and Max is chilling in the CEO office drinking like a Bond villain. All he's missing is an actual cat to pet. He then orders Robocop to show up at a fancy weapons event, and Robocop just obeys, supposedly because the new guy might crash the event, but even then Robocop doesn't question Max at all. Why are we still pretending that Max isn't shady when every red flag is already waving? We fight more robots, lose again for the fourth time, and the new guy reveals that the chip in Robocop's head is actually breaking him down. The lighter was the control switch, and using it too much can cause Robocop's brain to melt. Robocop collapses again, but this time our friends saves us and remove the chip, and we are finally allowed to win the actual game. But too bad, because now the whole city is a war zone. So every gang is angry at the new guy and is rioting, and we spend the next hour cleaning up the street and saving civilians. Oh, and we also fight Spike again? I guess he escaped prison, or maybe he has a twin, I don't know. Finally, we return to the place where we met the OCP CEO, and we discover a massive lamp underneath, where they actually try to resurrect corpses. Following more suspicious hole in the wall, we find an entire secret city no one noticed being built. Cranes, trucks, anything? No? Okay. We endure one of the most boring and long boss fights ever, where we end up shooting the new guy like maybe 8 times as he falls to his possible death. And I'm calling it now, they probably want to bring him back as a cyborg villain in a sequel. Either the sale didn't justify another game yet, or maybe they're still working on it as we speak. But wait, we're not done. Back at the station, post-credit style, we talk to all the main characters, but then boom, a surprise. The OCP headquarters is being attacked again, this time by a creature. But turns out it's a CEO back as a giant robot. Remember the deep conversation I talked to you about that we had with him about life, death and emotions? Yeah, whatever that. He uses that to justify his 1 + 1 = 5 type of actions. It just makes no sense. We fight him, bring down the entire building, which somehow does absolutely no damage to the rest of the city, and also prank our friends by pretending that we died. Robocop could have just said I'm fine over the radio, but he chooses not to. The game ends and you get a news broadcast that changes based on your choices in the game, but really it's the only part of the game where your choices really matter. Before I forget to mention, quickly, in the background of this whole story, there is also a political race to mayorship, and even if you choose at every point in the story where you are able to say that you don't side with politics and you don't want to do something with politics, the game still forces you to choose a side. And even if you don't choose, the game will force you by just saying that you took a side. You sided with this guy or you sided with this guy without even you knowing or you having any say about it. It will only let you pull it back at the very end where you can say that you don't support anyone. I'm still not sure if the devs are just not very clear on this, or maybe they're trying to pass on a message saying that even if you don't support someone, you are supporting someone. Like, you gotta support one of them, because if you just do nothing, then you are supporting someone. Either way, it's stupid. I believe that by you listening to the story up until now, you are able to tell at what points the story chooses to play dumb in order to stretch the runtime or simply check a box on a cliche moment they want to present. Let's begin with the very fact that this entire game relies on the idea that apparently in this game, Detroit is an island with no city or country in the entire universe. Okay, let's say that we choose to believe that. We can still end the game right when Robocop meets the new guy by not splitting off on a partner like we did the entire game until that point. Why change the way this duo works now? If you can't write a better story, maybe don't? I know I sound a little bit harsh, but this is just how much this is important to me. You might ask, how will not splitting off solve Robocop glitching situations? It won't. It will simply allow his partner to shoot the new guy when he actually starts messing up with Robocop. And one of the biggest problems will be gone, but we still will have the OCP CEO as a problem. So you can build more in that direction. Even if you ignore this, why did nobody question the new guy more seriously before throwing him in jail? This could lead to him giving up his OCP contact and us finding out about Max/the CEO much faster. And even if you ignore this, when we are at the weapons showcase event, it is very obvious that you will be fighting the CEO robot with the way it is presented as your counterpart on the stage. And even during my let's play, I tried to break it when it was on the stage, but obviously you can't. Oh, and I almost forgot one of the most insulting moments in this whole story. Near the very end, the game decides that Robocop is suddenly deaf. I'm not even joking with you. The new guy is hiding literally right in front of him, behind a crate, delivering a full villain monologue, and Robocop just stands there, looking confused like somebody just turned off his ears. And if that's not bad enough, the guy actually rolls a can across the floor to distract Robocop, like I'm watching a Looney Tunes episode. This is a robot with built-in sensors, a tactical HUD, a literal targeting computer, and they want us to believe that he can hear the soda can, but not the monologue. It's shameless, absolutely shameless. I didn't even talk about the choices yet. This game gives you the illusion of choice. Only small things are affected by your choice in game. They mostly show up in the end cutscene where you see where everyone is right now. Sure, you can help choose the mayor, and some decisions might affect the public opinion of you, but it just doesn't show in game. Nobody will say, hey Robocop, I love you, thanks for saving X at Z event or something, you're so awesome. All things like Robocop, you suck, you only help OCP, blah 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 blah. It's disappointing. One of the moments that are ingrained into my brain is when we can be harsh on a graffiti artist by giving him a fine, and the game shows that we made an enemy of him. An enemy who literally vanishes from existence because we never meet again. There are more reasons not to enjoy and like the game, like the SpongeBob SquarePants enemy who just soak up all the damage, but I will say that the strongest emotion I felt is disappointment, because when you play the demo, you feel like you're going to get a completely different product until the end of the demo point. And I kind of expected to enjoy this more and enjoy good storytelling that I didn't end up getting, and that's kind of why I believe this game has a bad story. But that's it for this one. I kind of explained to you what I think. I would kind of love to see what you think and maybe point out things I didn't notice that counter my points. This is more fun to do this way. Just give me paragraphs and paragraphs of you explaining why you think I'm wrong, or where I missed something and you can strengthen my point. Whatever, it's more interesting to have this debate. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, thank you. If you didn't, let me know how I can improve. But keep safe and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.